Okay, guys, the topic what we are dealing is nothing but element family and chemical family. The other name for the element family, right? So the main person whoever is there on the top of the periodic table, we are having 8 groups. The first member, if now you take, you'll be having head of the family. Are you able to your dad's name or whatever it might be, your grandpa name? Okay, Nana, he is considered as a head of the family, right? So if I have to refer him, there is no need for me to tell the names of all the family members. I can say so and so candidate's family. Why? Because head of the family is only one person. Right. In the same way, totally in the periodic table, we are having 8 groups. Basing upon the name of the top person, that is the first criteria, or the way they react with others. వాళ్ళు వేరే వాళ్ళతో ఎలా రియాక్ట్ అయ్యారు దాని మీద బేస్ చేసుకోనన్నా, లేకపోతే వాళ్ళ జనరల్ బిహేవియర్, వీళ్ళు ఇలాంటోళ్ళు, వీళ్ళు ఓషన్ లో దొరుకుతారు, వీళ్ళు ఎర్త్ లో యాష్ కింద దొరుకుతారు, అలాగా బేసింగ్ అపాన్ సమ్ ప్రాపర్టీస్ ఆఫ్ దట్ నేమ్ we have given a particular name to the entire family. In the modern periodic table proposed by Mosley, right, mainly 8 groups are there. Okay, Nana, those main 8 groups, how they got the names, right? So these names are also called as a chemical family or element family. Right, now in this video we are going to learn about what is the name of the family, what are the members of that one, right? In the same way, what is their general electronic configuration, valence electron and the valency. Okay, Nana. So if you go to the first one, it is nothing but group 1, right? As we all know, it is nothing but the group 1 what we have, right? The group 1 what we have, we are starting from here. So this is nothing but the group 1 what we have. This is group 1. In the traditional method, as I said you earlier, traditional style or traditional method. Traditional style is nothing but the old method what you have, right? Later on, when we come across IUPAC, the full form, International Union of Pure Applied Chemistry, proposed by them, they had given the modern number. The modern number goes with 1A. 1A is the modern. This is the modern, and whereas 1A is nothing but the traditional method. Are you able to 1A, subgroup A and subgroup B are present in the traditional style, not in the modern. Traditional means old method. Are you able to understand? So we are going with 1 as a modern and 1A as a traditional method. The name what we have given for the alkaline first group elements, we have given the name alkaline metal family. What is the reason behind? You have to remember alkali. Now, if you go to the word alkali here, it is clearly given the word alkali. It's a scientific name. What is the meaning of alkali? It's nothing but the plant ash. Samudramlo plants unnappudu, are you able to understand? Fossil అయిపోయి disintegrate అయిపోయి ఏదైతే ash వస్తుందో దాని నుంచైనా, right? Later on, outside, when they become fossil fuels, they are get buried into the soil. When they become into ash, all those material we call it as, of course, plant ash. From that word plant ash, we got the name alkali. All the group elements, from where to where these people got the name lithium to francium. Lithium, we take the symbol Li, and francium we take the symbol Fr. Okay, Nana. So the first group, what is the element family? What we are calling it as alkali metal family, right? From where to where? Lithium to, right? We are giving from lithium to, we are going from lithium to francium. The first 2 letters we are calling it as name. Right. In the same way, we are going for the general electronic configuration. We are going with the general electronic configuration of the elements. What is the general electronic configuration of the first group elements? Is nothing but 1s1. Are you able to understand? If you grow with the electronic configuration, first group element we call it as NS1. Second group directly we call it as NS2. Are you able to? Third group we call it as NS2 and NP1. NP1. Why? Because s orbital is completely filled. After filling s orbital only we come to the p orbital. So s orbital. So now you can say what is that n there? What is that n there? N is nothing but principal quantum number. Principal quantum number. And as you know, the first orbit is k. For that one, n is equal to 1. In the same way, second orbit is KL, n is equal to 2. In the same way, third orbit is M, n is equal to 3, right? And fourth orbit is N, and n is equal to 4 there. Okay, Nana. So here, what is the n means as it is the first orbit. If you go from top to bottom, in the first group, just now we have discussed here. For the first group, if you go for top to bottom, the first one we are calling it as lithium, and the last one we are calling it as francium. Right? Lithium atomic number, it's nothing but the 3. Okay, now what is the electronic configuration we are writing? 1s1. You can see the 1 there. It is nothing but the n. It is nothing but the n. Means in the first group, first element, the general electronic configuration is 1s1. If you go to the second fellow, he will become it as 2s1. If you go to the third fellow, he will become it as 3s1. What is that one? The last electron element, right? General electronic configuration. Instead of calling it as 1, 2, 3, 4, directly what I am giving the general electronic configuration, it has, what is that one? NS1. Right? As the orbit increases, if it is in the first orbit, we call it as NS1. If it is in the second orbit, we call it as 2s2. If it is in the third orbit, we call it as 3s1. All NS1 at the last. Are you able to? Now, if you go to the second orbit, right? Second group element. What is the second group elements? We calling it as 2. 2 means traditional or modern? Modern. In the tradition, what we have? 2A. What is the name of the group what we have given? Alkali earth metal family. Earlier you might have remembered, I said first one as an example in the ocean. First one, plant ash in the ocean. But now these are also plant ash, but in the earth, means in the soil. You might have got the difference. First of all, andaru kuda ocean lo unna plants yokka plant ash. Whereas వీళ్ళు ఏమవుతారు ఎర్త్ లో ఉన్న అంటే మట్టిలో సాయిల్ లో ఉన్న ప్లాంట్స్ యొక్క యాష్. Are you able to understand? So from where to where? Who is the first element of this family? Right? The second group ki first element evanna beryllium. Beryllium to from where? Radium. Beryllium to radium, starting from top to the third. We go from top to bottom in a group. You have to remember that one. Though I am writing side by side, you have to remember that the topmost fellow is beryllium, and you go down to the group, and the last fellow is nothing but what is that one? Radium. Right? And the general electronic configuration, what we got is NS2, and the valence electrons is nothing but the 2. What is the meaning of valence electrons? The number of electrons present in the outermost orbital. Now can I see here the outermost orbital is nothing but NS2. How many electrons are there in the last? 2. That's why the valence electrons are 2. Are you able to understand? Now if you go for the valency, what is the meaning of valency there? 2. Why the valency became 2? I said you, the how many electrons can chemically participate to become stability. ఎంతమంది ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ బయట వాడికి లూజ్ అన్నా చేస్తారు, గెయిన్ అన్నా చేస్తారు. దేనికోసమో? స్టెబిలిటీ కోసం. సో హౌ మెనీ ఎలక్ట్రాన్స్ ఆర్ రెడీ టు పార్టిసిపేట్ ఇన్ ద బాండింగ్ హియర్ ఇన్ ద సెకండ్ గ్రూప్ ఎలిమెంట్స్? 2 electrons. Therefore, what is the valency there? 2. Are you able to understand? Now let us go for the third group. Right? The third group here, what we are example is 13. Right? In the modern style, it is 13. Why? Because we are leaving 10 groups in the middle, which in the traditional style, we call it as B subgroup candidates. Okay, na? It is 13, and we are starting from 3A. It is nothing but 3A. Now what we are calling the name of the family as? Boron family. Third A group elements are called as boron family. Why you are calling it as boron family? Why? Because the head of the family member means the topmost element on the top is nothing but the boron. You can see it here, right? You can see the boron present here. Boron 2, from where to where we are dealing with? Thallium. Right? In the same way, general electronic configuration, I had given it as NS2 and NP1, and the valence electrons are 3, and the valence is also 3. Are you able to understand? Now, if you go for the fourth in the modern, we call it as 14th group, and in the traditional style, we call it as 4A. And the name of the family is nothing but what we are calling it as, Nana? Carbon family. Can you guess why we are calling it as carbon family? The head of the family or the topmost member in the group is nothing but the carbon there, right? If you see here, carbon is the first member, whereas we are ending the fourth group with fluoro-VM. Fluoro-VM. The pronunciation will differ from wherever it might be, but the symbol is FL, C2FL, and the general electronic configuration NS2 and the NP. What is that one? 2. If you straight away, without directly, we can say this is NS2 and NP3, and the next one is NS2, NP4, and the next one is NS2, NP5. In the same way, the next one is NS2, NP6. Okay, in the same way, valence electrons, you can see the valence electron, the number of electrons present in the outermost orbit. For the fourth group, it is 4, and the fifth group, it is 5. In the sixth group, it is nothing but the 7, right? Sixth group, it is nothing but the 6. Seventh group, it is nothing but the 7, and eighth group is nothing but the 8. So, if you check it out, what are valence electrons in that group means? It is the logic is nothing but the group number itself. Group number itself is nothing but the valence electrons. If it is fourth group, how many valence electrons? 4. If it is sixth group, how many valence electrons? 6. If it is the eighth group, how many valence electrons? 8. The group number itself is the valence electrons. Whereas valency is nothing but the number of electrons who are ready to participate in the chemical bonding. In the first group, it is nothing but the 1. Second group, it is nothing but 2. Third group, it is 3. Later on, it is becoming 4. From there onwards, the style will change. Right? The next is nothing but the 3, 2, 1, and 0. You have to remember the valency matters a lot. Right. If you check it out, what is the logic behind from fifth group to this one is nothing but group number 8 minus group number. You have to remember. What is the logic behind from fifth onwards? Till 4, it is continuously increasing. 1, 2, 3, 4. From fifth onwards, if you like to remember, what is the formula behind that one means 8 minus group number. Are you able to understand? Now, if you see this one, let me go for the families, what we are discussing. First one, why did we get that one? I have discussed why they got the name. Right, 1A group elements and 2A group elements. Why we call it as alkali, plant ash. Whereas if you go for the halogens, as I said you earlier, halogens is nothing but we take it as a 7th group element, or according to this is from the traditional style, whereas according to the modern, which is accepted by IUPAC, it is nothing but the 17th group. Right, here the main elements are nothing but fluorine, chlorine, and bromine. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine, where we call them as halogens. Halogens, and the symbol is capital X. Right, here the word halogens, here we can directly say they are nothing but halos. Right, it's nothing but halos, HA, right, you can say, right, it is nothing but halos, HALOS. Right, halos is nothing but sea salt. You have to remember the word sea salt. Samudramlo dorike uppuni manam halos anantamu. Mainly ikkada fluorine kani, chlorine kani, bromine kani, which we are calling it as halogens. They are nothing but the present in the sea salt. Because as they are present in the sea salt, we call it as halos, and the name of this family is nothing but halogens. Are you able to understand? Before that one, right, before this is nothing but the 7th A, if you discuss about the 6th A group elements, 6th A group elements or the 16th group, 16th group element, we call them as chalcogens. Chalcogens. Right? Here, the name is nothing but chalco, C-H-A-L, C-H-A-L-C-O-S, chalcos. Chalcos. Chalcos is nothing but ore products. Ante వీళ్ళు వేరే మెటల్స్ తోటి కంబైన్ అయ్యి ఒక ఓర్ లాగా తయారవుతారు. Right? What is the meaning of ore? Right? From where we bring out the minerals. Petroleum is one of the ores which we get from the ocean. Petroleum. Ore products. Ante ee chalcogens ఎవరైతే ఉన్నారో they react with other metal and they are present as the ores in the soil or it might be the water. Right? When we want certain metal, we extract to do some chemical reactions and take out that metal. Are you able to understand? So chalcogens is nothing but the ore products. And these people combined with other metals and formed as ores. So it is nothing but chalcos or chalcogens. Which group we are talking about? 6th group. Are you able to understand? And the last more important one is nothing but the 8th group elements. 8th group elements, or which is nothing but 18th group according to the modern periodic table. Right? We call them as noble gases. We call them as noble gases, or the main thing what we have to remember is nothing but inert. What is the meaning of inert? Inert is nothing but inactive. Inactive. Or what is the other name of inert means not interested to do, not interested to participate in any chemical reaction. He is not at all active, inactive. Right? Not interested to participate in any chemical reaction. Not interested to participate. Participates means to be active. Participate and be active. He is inactive, inert. Why? Because the reason is, right, reason. What is the reason for him to be stable? Because outermost electronic configuration is completely filled. Outermost orbital is completely filled. As outermost orbital is completely filled, right, completely filled. Outermost orbital completely filled. As it is completely filled, there is no need for him to go and participate in any chemical reaction. So he is not interested to participate in any chemical reaction. He is inactive. He is inert. That's why we call it as noble gases, zero group elements, and all. Are you able to understand? The topic what he says is nothing but the element family or chemical family. Why did we get those names? From where to where? First A group we are calling it as alkali metals. Right? First A group elements we are calling it as alkali metals. Alkali metals, the reason why I said it's from lithium to what is the name what he had given there? Francium. Right? In the same way, if you go for the second one group elements is nothing but alkali, earth metal family. Third one, it is nothing but the boron. Why? Because head of the family is nothing but the boron. Later on, it is nothing but the carbon family, nitrogen family, oxygen family. Why we call it as oxygen family there? Right now, right. Head of the family is oxygen, and moreover, we are giving what is the other name for that one? Chalcogens. What is the other name given for the chalcogens? It is nothing but oxygen family or chalcogen family. The next one we call it as halogens, and the next one is nothing but the noble gases. These are all the names what we got for the elements present in the modern period.